everybody, it's your girl Wisdom, aka the Voluptuous Vixen, and you are checking in for the first edition of the Judgment Free Zone. The Judgment Free Zone is my advice column, so let's go ahead and get you plugged in. If you have any advice that you'd like to submit, you can submit your request via email to TheWisdohmExperience@gmail.com. You want to put Judgment Free Zone in your subject line so that I know what the email is referencing, and then just the body of your email would include whatever pertinent information there is concerning your issue. Now, let me say this in the interest of full disclosure, okay? Guys, don't send me loaded questions, and don't send me questions with half information or information that is misleading, hostile, or easily misconstrued. I am going to respond to those as well, but my response is going to acknowledge the half-assedry. I think I just made that word up. And if you've been following me long enough, then you'll be okay with that, because you know that's what I do, right? But I will acknowledge the lack of information or misinformation that's been submitted. So try your best to submit clear, concise information when you submit, so that you are not banned, blocked, or just, disregarded. I want to try my best to reach out to everyone. And so the purpose of the Judgment Free Zone is just that. It's to give you a different perspective, or maybe expound on a perspective that you've already received concerning whatever is going on in your life, in whatever aspect of your life you write to me concerning. I will say that I am not an expert in every subject. And so if I need to consult or phone a friend, or do a little research, I am big on doing my due diligence. So I will try my best to get all of the information that I can towards answering your question. If it's something that I don't know or can't access, off the top of the dome. And, I'll just let you know to be patient with me. And I'm asking that from everyone. Give me some time to get your questions in. The Judgment Free Zone is only airing on Tuesday nights as it stands right now. So that will be like one question per Judgment Free Zone, usually. And it will depend on how many questions I have, or how deep I have to go with answering a question. But I would say 1 to 2 questions will be my max per episode. And so I wanted to kind of just give you in this first episode what to expect, what you can send me, and I want to do a question as well. And so you've already got the contact information, TheWisdomExperience@gmail.com. Put Judgment Free Zone in the subject line and send me your question. I will answer anonymously, and I will just send you, for example, as a reply to your question, the link to the episode of the Judgment Free Zone on which your answer appears. Okay? And so everyone's anonymity will be protected. Please try your best not to send me anything that could make me an accessory after the fact. Because that is not the route that I'm trying to go. If it's a question of your anonymity or my freedom, your anonymity is shot. And I'm just going to be very honest about that. I don't know you, so I can't take the bid for you. And because I am not a professional, I don't have to. And actually, professionals don't have to. So, hey, I'm still in the clear. Okay. So, we've got that covered. I said no misleading questions or incomplete questions, things of that nature. Nothing that could be considered hostile. And we'll talk about a couple of those examples as we go forward and as they come in, because I get them. And then the other thing that I mentioned was like, what's a loaded question, and a loaded question can sometimes be a hostile question. For example, a question that I recently received was, which ethnicity of women is most loyal? That's a loaded question. I'm not answering that, because loyalty is not ethnicity driven. And so, I'm not even, that was just, there is no such thing as a dumb question, but some of them will make you wonder. Amen, somebody. Okay. And so in the interest of transparency and everything, I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there for those of you that are watching. Something was under my feet trying to come from toes. And so this is what it is. We're going to do the Judgment Free Zone. I'm going to do my first question. And you guys, I pride myself on trying to be objective. And so I try to consider points of view that may not have been previously considered, or like I said previously, expound on ones that you have already considered. It's just to kind of give you something to think about. As I say, even in my Slave Saturday tutorials, these are not guidelines by which you should live. I am not telling you what to do. I am simply offering perspective, insight, and feedback into what it is that you have presented. And so wisdom did not make you do anything. Wisdom is not responsible for anything that you do. And that is my certified nice nasty disclaimer. Okay? I am gearing my show toward adults, preferably those that are like 21 and up, but even 18 and up. And I say that to say that I'm not speaking to children, and so I will not deal with childish folly. Okay? All right, so let's get into it, guys. First question. I'm very excited about this. I used to read Dear Abby as a child, and I always wanted to have an advice column. And so, yeah, you see I'm trying to get her down. I got to pin that little piece so that it just lays. This is my same drawstring ponytail, by the way, that I did the mohawk with. And this was just me trying to recreate a pair of earrings that I received recently. They were customized for me. And the girl's hair was like this. She had a flower. I didn't have a flower to match this outfit, so I didn't do a flower. But so, again, I had a show today. I did some poetry. And it's one of the many gifts and talents that I've been blessed with. And so I did some poetry today, hence the beat. All right. Now, the Judgment Free Zone, question 1, has me very excited. Okay, guys, so here's the question. My husband has erectile dysfunction, but we both want more children. Is it okay to ask my husband for permission to get pregnant by someone else? Or should I wait for my husband? Okay? My husband has erectile dysfunction, but we both want more children. Is it okay to ask my husband if I can get pregnant by someone else? Or should I wait for my husband? Okay. I cannot wait to see what your comments say. Go ahead and comment. Before we go another further, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with the people that you follow and are friends with. I am trying to build this channel and my following, and I don't have all the bells and whistles that a lot of people do, but I have a lot of the character and intuition, the presence, and the wisdom, pun intended. So I hope that you can appreciate that, bells and whistles aside. All right, so like the video, subscribe to the channel, pass it on to a friend. Guys, this is a humdinger of a question. Do you wait for your husband? Wait for him to do what? And the reason that I ask that is because this question is posed as though you have already written him off as disposable because of the ED. So what are you waiting for? And I'm not saying don't wait. I'm asking, what are you waiting for? Because you've posed the question as though the ED is a no-go in the aspect of you guys having more children. So here are questions that weren't answered that I have from reading this. Number 1, how old are you and your husband? Number 2, how many children do you already have? Number 3, do you have children together, or do you each have children from previous relationships? And when you say more children, you mean children of your own collectively versus the blended family that you all already have. I feel like those are questions that need to be answered to kind of really put this thing into real life perspective. But because I don't have that, I'm going to have to give you ratchet wisdom. So here we go. Okay. First of all, guys, let me pause here to say erectile dysfunction is not infertility. Erectile dysfunction means that a man has a problem with sustaining or maintaining an erection. It's not that he can't get one, and it does not mean that his sperm does not work. So erectile dysfunction is not infertility. That's the first thing. So when you say, you know, should I get pregnant by someone else or wait for my husband? What do you mean? I don't understand. Because it's not like he can't get it up. You just got to keep it up. And you got to keep it up long enough for him to bust one off. I'm sorry. That was real. Bump that. That was real. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what needs to happen. But that doesn't have anything to do with infertility. Means that his sperm count is low. That the chances of him being able to get her pregnant, to the audience, is low. But it's not the same thing as ED. You have perfectly good Mexican jumping beans in your ball sack. But if your penis will not maintain the erection long enough for you to shoot off, then there lies the problem. I don't know why I went pirate. Just whatever. So that's my first thing. Is that ED is an infertility. The second thing is who you hunching? Or who you got your eyes on that you want to hunch? Can we talk about it, Team Wisdom? Because this chick did not say this, me and my husband adopt, not me and my husband go to the sperm bank, not even me and my husband try in vitro fertilization. Immediately, your question is, should I get with somebody else with my husband's permission, or should I wait for my husband? And again, if these are things that you guys have already talked about or considered, then that needs to be included in your question, because if not, you are painting a half picture. Okay? So I am assuming, because it was not mentioned, and I feel like that's fair, because if you wanted it to be considered, it should have been included. But I am considering those options because they do exist. Why is your first instinct to step outside of your marital bed? Whether it be turkey baster or full-on real life, boom, chaka waka bow. Why is that your first instinct? And so, in my mind, as a realist, it's because you already hunching somebody. Or you have your eye on somebody that you want to give it to. And I mean, we all grown, let's just be very honest. Being tempted is not the sin. The sin is in the yielding. So, you know what I'm saying? Judgment free zone. Let's pause here and think about this, though. You ain't going to feed this to me. Like, the only option is wait on your husband to get pregnant by somebody else. No. No. Not at all. And so, that's my question, is who you hunching? Wife. Who you hunching? And this is going to take me to number 3, because I ain't going to just put it on you. There are many there are many causes for erectile dysfunction. Now, ladies, we finna get real right quick, okay? You have to do a testicle examination, because what I have learned, and this is not a rule, it's just an observation, is that when a man has love to give, okay, his testicles are tight. They are wound up. They're kind of firm, like they're firm. Okay, pay attention. Y'all check it out after you and your boo, do your little thing coming up. Okay, some of y'all gonna do it just tonight just to see if I know what I'm talking about. But when they have some love to give, them testicles will be tight. They'll be firm. Okay? But if they have already gotten a release, then there is a slight sag. Depending on your man's makeup, honey, it might be a super sag. Okay? But there is a difference. Just like how guys act like they can tell if you've been with somebody. Oh, I know my coochie. All right, I bet you better. Hello, somebody. But you should know your penis as well. And so there are many causes for erectile dysfunction, and I'm going to just ask, because I tried to put you out there like a cheetah, is it possible that he's not as much as, it's not ED as much as it is MT? His nuts are empty because maybe he's hunching. I'm not putting that out there. I'm just trying to figure out why the thought process would be somebody else or wait on my husband. And so I'm just trying to, see if maybe you're trying to wait out his Jody, or if you're trying to wait him out so he'll give you permission to be with yours. That's all I'm trying to figure out, sugar. Because the question to me, it just seemed like there was no gray area. And I do not subscribe to that sort of a life. There are some instances where it'll be black or white, but those, honestly, are really far in between. They are really, really far in between, y'all. And so, when I'm not presented with a gray area, I have to ask why. Why is the box the only thing? Why can't we step out of the whole box and think, let's get a little elevated with our thinking. And you don't have to be high to do that. You have to be open-minded, and you have to be willing to hear someone else's story, again, to take in someone else's perspective. But it's not rocket science. So when you say to me, you guys want more children, and I want to know, like, how many do you have? How old is your youngest? Is the lack of procreation in your home a sign? If you believe in that sort of thing. Is your household ready to bring another life into it if you and your husband are having this issue? And I say y'all having the issue because I'm sure that you guys have talked about some of this, but not all of this. You haven't. And communication and trust are the cornerstones of any good relationship. I don't care what kind. They are the cornerstones. And so that's why I say this idea of just the black and white, you presenting me with just these two options, it's a little off-putting. And that's really just the word that came to mind. I don't know if it's the best word. But to answer your question, I think you and your husband need to talk. I think you all need to have a conversation. I think communication is something that is lacking in a lot of relationships, honestly. And I actually have a whole play that I have written and will debut next year that kind of deals with trying to get people to communicate in love better. And especially in terms of sexual desires, because we forget that sexual compatibility is important sometimes. You're so busy worrying about if they fine, if they got money, if they got a job, if they got a car. Can they blow that back out the way that you need it done? And to some of you all, you might be like, well, sex isn't everything. I never said that it was. But it is a part of the thing. You wouldn't have a sexual system if sex was not a part of your being. Don't let nobody fool you. And so in order for you to have total wellness, you have to have sexual wellness as well. I hated that I said wellness as well. You have to have sexual wellness also. So it is important that you are matched with a mate that can, handle what you're bringing to the table. And if they cannot, or you cannot handle something that they're bringing to the table, you have to have the ability to be able to communicate in order to come to a compromise. If you don't have that ability, if you're just gonna let somebody climb on top of you and do their business like Mr. did Sealy, then you know that ain't you still a virgin. Honey, you are still a virgin, baby. So I say when it comes to this question that there needs to be more information and there needs to be a conversation that's had. Because again, erectile dysfunction is not infertility. And if you meant to say infertility instead of ED, then guess what? You should have. Because I can't, make it up. Now, you guys have children, and so I don't think infertility is the thing. So this ED, as it was presented, for me, is not an end-all be-all. I think you need to simmer down, find you something to do, including talk to your husband. Go on a couple dates, stimulate him, let him stimulate you. Talk to each other. Say what areas there are that you guys could benefit from. What areas of opportunity exist in your relationship. Not just financially. Y'all better come on. Okay, I had to check, honey. Because hair has been falling out of my... Well, that's a whole nother show. But I want you guys to just be in love. I want you guys to communicate, and I want you all to have a conversation. Now, if the Jodies do not apply, you ain't hunching, you ain't got your eye on somebody that you want to hunch. See, that just sounds so... I want to ask him if I can get pregnant by somebody else. Well, who you going to ask? Who you got in mind? You know what I'm saying? It just sounds like you ready. Like you already kind of been sitting around with your girlfriends talking about Jim at the job. Been looking at you, and when he had on them sweatpants when he was in the gym the other day, he was on the treadmill and all these other things. Like it just sounds like you ready. Okay. And so I need to know more. But based on what I know, honey, the answer will always be wait on your husband. And here's the thing. Let me just say that to all of y'all and put this out here before any of y'all come for me. Or get yourself came for. Okay? I don't care nothing about what the status of your marriage is if you are still married. Huh? Estranged is still married. Anything that's not divorced is still married. And so you can sit around here and fool yourself and talk about these 13 years that y'all done been separated. Yep. But 9 times out of 10, if you die, the one that you act like you don't want nothing to do with gonna be the one that's in charge of everything. Now, who is that fair to? And I'm talking about not even your current love. I'm talking about your children, your family, the people that were actually with you when you left this hook booger and for the next 13 years. You understand what I mean? So anything that's not divorce or single life is marriage. Basically, there might be some in-betweens that I missed out on, but if you are married and you have not gotten a divorce, you have not lost your spouse, you are still married. To those of you that are out there that think that it's okay because they are estranged or say that they are estranged, because let's be very clear, anybody will say anything that they want to get what they want at some point in time or another. Now, I'm not going to talk about on a large scale or a small scale, on any scale, period. We have all. And if you have not yet, baby, just keep on living. Okay? So, just be mindful of that. And keep the lines of communication open. You're in an entire marriage. That's till death do us part. That's richer or poorer. That's sickness and in health. That's that part. Sickness and in health, that's for you. Not sickness in somebody else's lap, arms, bed, test tube. No. Sickness and in health. And so this type of decision, y'all need to really have a conversation about. Like for real, for real. Because my concern is that he can't get it up, because he out here hunching and you ready to get pregnant by somebody else because you out here hunching or wanting to hunch somebody else. So y'all need to come to the drawing board. Y'all need to have a come to Jesus meeting. And for everybody that's watching, not just this individual here, I do offer freelance counseling sessions. You can email me, TheWisdohmExperience@gmail.com. We can get a couple days and times set up, and we can do a video conference call. And so that is always available. I just really believe in family. And I don't care whether the family has two mamas, two daddies, a daddy and a mama and another daddy, two mamas and a daddy. I don't really care about any of that as long as when there are babies concerned. I just want everybody to be concerned about babies. And I want everybody to be concerned when there are no babies with their best interests and the interest of the relationship that they're in. It's never too late for you to say no or to turn away. But that's not what this post is about. I got sidetracked, y'all. And I think it's because I feel like I see my eye. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, little Miss Thing, we do have the freelance counseling available out there for everybody. You guys can email me. Just talk to your husband. Talk to your husband. Leave Jody alone if Jody exists. If Jody don't exist, child, Jody out there. You ain't gonna tell me. Jody is out there. But if Jody does not exist for either of you, then this is just a conversation that you guys need to have. You need to have it openly. You need to have it honestly. And no, neither of you needs to be, well, you know what? Let me try another way. Each of you needs to be able to handle what the other may say, even if you don't like it. That isn't a cause for you to go off, get crazy, do something dumb, do something that you might regret, say something dumb, say something that you might regret. No, you all should be able to come to the table peaceably. And if not, if you say, man, Wiz, I can't talk to him, then you definitely don't need to be parenting another child with him. Stop bringing babies, world that's watching, stop bringing babies into these hateful houses and thinking that the baby is going to change how your significant other or spouse feels about you. Stop letting children come up under and in this foolery because you needed to feel special. You needed to feel loved, and you felt like your baby would never leave you. No, we're not doing that still, are we? We are, but we can't. So I love you, sweetie. I love me some you. I wish you the best. Work with your husband, you know, and I wanted to say something about pegging, but I'll leave that for another day. I don't know if that's a treatment for ED or not, so I'll do a little research before I throw that out all the way into the atmosphere any more than I already have. But I appreciate you guys for tuning into the Judgment Free Zone. Thank you so much, writer or submitter, thank you so much, reader or listener, watcher. Thank you so much, Team Wisdom member, for your submission. Next week, I promise I will have a decision on how I want that to go. Or maybe not. Let me take that back. I don't want to promise that. I will try to get that together and decide how I'm going to address you. Those of you who write in. But thank you so much for your submission. I wish the best for you, your family, your household, and your situation, everything that is connected to you, every person that is connected to you. My hope and my desire is that you are able to have peace in your mind, body, and spirit about whatever decision you choose to make. That's all anybody can ask. And so I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that you've gotten some insights, and I hope that for those of you who might need someone to kind of talk something out with you, that you all will reach out to me at TheWisdohmExperience@gmail.com. put the Judgment Free Zone in your subject line so that I will be able to navigate with ease between the types of emails that I'm receiving, okay? So thank you guys so much. Don't forget, if you want me to advertise your brand, business, or event for you, I am available to do that. 55-second Instagram promos are just $10. The 3-minute infomercial for one business is $20, I believe, and then I also offer a 5-minute multi-business infomercial for an entrepreneur who has who has multiple businesses. I will advertise up to 3 in an infomercial for you. And so let me put this enthusiasm to work for your business. I would love to do it. It really would be my absolute pleasure. All right, you guys, I loves me some you, and thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Judgment Free Zone, baby. You can feel free to be you whenever you come here. This is Vegas, okay? What happens in the Judgment Free Zone stays in the Judgment Free Zone. And as I have said before, and I will continue to say, I love every ounce of your face and your faith. I don't care what you've been through, or what you've done, or what you're going through right now. I still believe that you are valuable and that your worth cannot be replaced. And I want you to get on board and believe that thing with me, all right? You guys, thanks again for tuning in. I loves me some you. I hope you have a great week. Oh, don't forget, the schedule has changed. So if you're not following already on Facebook, which you should be, Facebook and YouTube are both at The Wisdom Experience. So go ahead and follow there. And then, of course, on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, I am Wisdom, WISDOHM. Go ahead and follow. The schedule for The Wisdom Experience has changed. The show, the core episodes, and by core episodes, I mean the ones where I interview the entrepreneurs and local business people who have inspired me and with whom I would like you to make introductions. Those will now air on Wednesday nights as opposed to Friday. And the reason that I've done that is because I found that a lot of the things that I want to introduce you to are things that I want you to be able to do with and on your weekend. So I want you to be ready for the weekend when it comes, and not scrounging and trying to get it together and watch the episode to find out where you can go and get your hair laid or your face beat or your clothing fix or some customizations. I want you to be able to let that thing sink in so you can plan your weekend accordingly. Because, of course, we're all trying to better ourselves here on this journey. That's the purpose of this experience. And so it will help you to get organized and kind of do a little planning if you know in advance what it is that you need to be doing. So that is the plan. So Mondays and Thursdays I will be off air. Sundays you can catch my blog, Words of Wisdom, on WordPress. I believe it's TheWisdomExperience.wordpress.com. The Words of Wisdom come out every Sunday, and they're just inspirational tidbits to start your week off. So I hope that you enjoy them and, learn something from them, or at the very least that you are encouraged by them. All right. And I think I've said everything that I need to say. Schedule change. So Mondays off air, Thursdays off air. Tuesday is the Judgment Free Zone, which is where we are right now. Wednesday will be the Wisdom Experience. And then Fridays are going to be Fat Girl Fridays. And Saturdays will be Slade Saturdays. So we have a full lineup, full schedule. All right. I love you guys. Bye.